All right, guys, Georgia Boy here, down in the casting shed today. And so I posted a short video of this gun yesterday, a Marlin by another name, and asked if anybody had saw this configuration before. And lots of folks were close and got the gist of it. It is a 20-inch carbine with a saddle ring. And then some said a house gun. Well, all that's correct, but once you get past that, this is a pretty rare gun. Now, there are a lot of house brands out there made by, back in the day, made by Marlin, Winchester, Mossberg, Savage, you name it. And there's actually a list of them online of all the house brands and the models and who made them and what that particular rifle coincides with in their regular lineup. So that's pretty good. This rifle is a house brand. It is a 20-inch carbine. It is a saddle ring. But this one was made made for Westpoint. It's a Westpoint, Cotter Co, Chicago, Illinois, Model 33. So a Westpoint Model 33. And being from Chicago, Illinois, Cotter Co, that's something I never heard of down here. We had Otasco and Western Auto and Sears and all their house brands. I was familiar with all those, J.C. Higgins, Revelation, but not this one. And so I think the Cotter Co later became True Value Hardware, if I'm not mistaken. And how this Yankee gun found its way to Georgia in such a cream puff condition, I have no idea, but I'm glad it did. And so Marlin made these rifles for Cotter Co in the mid to late 60s. This one dates to 1966. And this configuration is the same as the Marlin Glenfield 30A, like we've got here. It's got the front sight dovetailed into the barrel band in front of the sight. It's got the fore-end cap. It's got the thin wood. All of that, I really prefer that setup. But this one is different. Instead of birch or hardwood stocks, which the majority of house guns got, these were ordered with walnut stocks. And so this is all factory gun. This gun hadn't been boogered with. And so these come with walnut stocks, and I think the Sears J.C. Higgins Model 45, some of them come with walnut stock, some came with birch, but all of these came with hardwoods. They were all chambered in 30-30, and they were all ordered with a brass saddle ring that unscrews. And so even though this gun has the walnut stocks, it doesn't have the Marlin bullseye because it doesn't bear the Marlin name. It's a house gun. And so there's a 336 Texan, which has a straight grip and a saddle ring, but according to the guys over at Marlin Owners Forum and my books, this is the only pistol grip stock with a saddle ring that Marlin ever made. And they only made 7,200 of them and put it in a 30A configuration with genuine walnut stocks. It makes this particular gun pretty rare. And so now I've heard that some of the Westpoint Model 33s came with Ballard and some came with micro groove, because this is the 60s was the micro groove era. I think they started doing that in the late 50s on the centerfire stuff. I don't know. I've looked in this one. It's clean as a pin, but even with a bore light, I can't really tell. My eyes are so bad. I need to get my boys to look at it, but it does look like it's got deeper grooves in it than my other rifles. So we'll see about that. So that's the story on this Marlin Westpoint Model 33. Now there are a lot of house guns out there, and tons of them. But I want to give you just a few house guns that are really different that you might want to keep an eye out for. One would be this, the Model 33. The other one is a Marlin 30 TK. They were only made from 1988 to 1990. The T stands for Texan. It has a straight stock. The K stands for Kmart because they were only made for Kmart. And they came with an 18.5-inch barrel and a half mag tube. Pretty rare little gun. If you ever come by one of them, you ought to grab it up. And then the other one I mentioned, a Sears and Roebuck J.C. Higgins Model 45. It came in the 30A configuration. Some, I believe, were walnut stock, some were birch stocks, but it is the only 30A configuration rifle that was chambered in the 35 Remington. So if you like this configuration of rifle, which I do, and you want a 35 Remington, that's the only way to get one of those that I know of. So there it is. There's the Westpoint Model 33. Pretty interesting old gun. You guys who like these sort of things, keep an eye out for them. They're just as good. They're made in the same factories by the same people who made the ones that, bore the Marlin and Winchester and all the other manufacturers' names. So anyway, this video is long enough. You guys take care.